Good afternoon, everyone. I'm James Crummell. Harrisburg City officials and state leaders are vowing to rebuild the Broad Street Market after a fire gutted the brick building. We're learning more about resources available for the vendors affected. Taylor Toshev joins us live in Harrisburg with the latest on that part of the story. Good afternoon, Taylor.
Good afternoon, James. Well, a very different scene from yesterday. The windows now boarded up and a lot of the debris that was scattered along the sidewalk, that's been cleaned up. The big question yesterday was how this fire started. We know that it was accidental and due to an electrical issue. Now the question today is what comes next for these vendors. About 20 vendors, over 20 vendors worked out of the brick building. We said yesterday that we expected the community to be stepping up to help these vendors, and we've already seen that. The Colonial Park Mall in Lower Paxton Township posted to Facebook saying it's extending its facility to help the vendors affected by the fire. Governor Josh Shapiro says state agencies are already working on resources. Pennsylvania Emergency Management Agency is also involved, working with individual vendors, and the State Department of Agriculture is working with vendors to find them a temporary home, especially during the busy season for farmers markets.
Our Department of Agriculture, under leadership of Secretary Redding, is going to work with these vendors to figure out how we can keep them in business while the rebuild is taking place.
We want to make sure that the people who are working here have some access to be able to do something to restart. You know, that's our first concern, is the people who are in the building.
And Harrisburg Fire Chief Brian Ennerline said that the shell of the building is rebuildable. Part of the roof is still intact, but it was damaged by the fire, so the entire roof is going to have to come down. I also mentioned yesterday that the stone building, the other building part of the Broad Street Market, that was not damaged at all during the fire, and it will be open for business starting this week on Thursday. And I've already seen some posts about people talking about, coming out to support the Broad Street Market moving forward. And we'll have more about some of these resources for vendors more tonight coming up at 5. But for now, live in Harrisburg, Taylor Toshev. James, we'll send it back to you.
And Taylor, even yesterday we talked about just what a big part of the community the market is. And you mentioned that stone building is still going to open later this week. And there's also an event this weekend that is still a go.
Yeah, James, there's a Facebook post about a Christmas in July event this Saturday. It starts at 10. Some people still commenting on that. We've heard a lot from the community members yesterday, just talking about, how they're wanting to come out and support these vendors and the market moving forward. There's also, if you want to help out vendors, you can, check on their websites, and each individual vendor posts to either Facebook or they have their own website, and you can find out if they operate at another farmer's market or learn more on their website. But you can definitely reach out and support them that way, James.
And Taylor, are you still seeing people coming out there curious about the market itself like you did yesterday, or has that pretty much died down now?
It's died down a little bit. We did see just a few groups of people, or sometimes people will drive by and they'll stop a little bit as they pass. But right now it's just boarded up the windows and everything has been cleaned up since yesterday.
Taylor Toshev live for us in Harrisburg. We'll see more of you coming up tonight at 5. Thank you.